Okay, welcome back to another episode of Toggle. Well, we're kicking off this week's episode out at the little township of Stanley. It's a beautiful spot. I love it out here at Stanley. And I'm out here to collect some bees. Got a phone call. There's a guy out here who's got bees apparently have nested under the floorboards, so we're going to attempt to recover those. And we'll set up there now and we'll go and see if we can get them. Okay, well, I've just come down with the owner. He showed me where this little shack is, and this is where the bees are. They're in under the floorboards in there. The beach, and it's a gorgeous beach, is literally just over the other side of those trees back there. I might even quickly run through there later on and give you a quick look. But the bees are coming in on the corner down the bottom there. I'll grab the GoPro, we'll go and have a look. And I'm going to have to lift all these floorboards up and we'll see what we can do. We'll get them out. There's a lot of flies around at the moment too. Everything's fairly dry out here at the moment. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. I've got to get these out because then I've got another job to do. Okay, all geared up, and you can see this is where the bees are going in and out of, down here. So if we go and look inside, you can see there's been a lot of bees have got themselves stuck in here. There's a lot hanging around the window there, but it's caused a lot to get stuck. And down here in this corner, this is where the bees are all coming in. So I'm going to need to get these floorboards lifted and get to work. So we can see the bees are here in this corner. I've got a hive ready to put them straight into. I'll just start lifting these boards, work out where they are. I'll start off without smoke and we'll just see how they go. If they get too aggressive, we can always get some smoke started. I'm going to start out wide and move my way in. I'll remove all the screws before I start lifting. Because once I start this, I'd like the process to be as quick as possible. A whole lot of honeycomb there. It's very light, clear honey too. Now none of this is capped, which means it's still very much like nectar and not like honey, which means it can ferment if I'm not careful. So we'll get all of this and then work our way in. Now there's a lot of coastal tea tree around here, and I'm guessing that is why this is such a light coloured honey. Last piece. Right, that's that one. Good. I'm glad I didn't have to go any further that way because I couldn't get those up. Okay, just got a light little bit of smoke there. These bees. Right, next panel. This is a big long one. This one will be interesting. Now this honey, they are starting to cap at the top here. This there, that's brood, and that's what we're looking for. We're putting into the beehive behind me. So that's good. That whole piece I'm going to put in there. There's quite a big nest in here, but I need to get all this out. Right, I'm going to stop doing the GoPro filming and just get cracking on with this. Man, there's a lot down there. And this is back where I can work. Okay, I've got all of that honeycomb out. My gosh, there was so much there and I am just sweating. Anyway, we've got tubs and tubs and tubs of just pure honey. I've got that tub there and these 2 tubs, that's for the guy who owns this place. I've got this one creamed chock-a-block full of honey, and I sent him back up earlier on with a bucket about yay round, yay high, full of just chock-a-block full of honey. So I've been dumping a lot of bees into the hive, but at the moment there's not a lot hanging around the front and fanning, which indicates to me that the queen, hopefully I haven't killed her, but I reckon she's still in here somewhere. So now I will use the dustpan and broom and just start to sweep them up. They've actually been quite calm. Once I got started into it, they calmed right down, so I wasn't even using the smoke. But I've got a dustpan and I've got the broom, and I'll just start to sweep them up and pop them in. By keeping it dark, they tend to go straight down in between the frames, which is what I want. This has been a couple of hour process. It's been a lot of work. So I'm really hoping I get the queen this time, because the last few call outs that I've had have resulted in nothing. One was actually turned out to be European wasps, so I helped them get rid of them, but the other one they'd already flown on, the other one we just couldn't get it out, so we had to exterminate them. So I've missed out on a few. I've been putting a lot of work and effort in, so I'm really hoping that I actually get a swarm or get a colony out of this one. Another little tool that I made a while back when getting my very first swarm in Tassie, actually. Just a drink bottle, like a cordial bottle, made a scoop out of it, and that's going to work perfectly here because they're all clustered up on the back wall there. What I'm doing at the moment is cleaning off all the little daggy bits of wax from underneath, because the bees will climb up and form a bunch underneath, and if it's smooth I can scrape them real easy with this, just scrape straight underneath, but when there's bits hanging off it, it makes it very difficult. just going to give these guys time to condense back in again into balls so that I can scoop them again, because at the moment they're just scattered everywhere. And then we'll hit it again, and I'll just keep doing that until I've captured most of the bees that I can. So what I might do is take a quick rest, because I'm starting to get very exhausted, and we might have a look at this beach over the back, eh? Now, bearing in mind this is dead low tide at the moment, but at high tide, there's water right up to the top here. You can see the seaweed line. Man, I'm exhausted. Well, it's been 2 days. I'm back out here at Stanley. I came out earlier than needed to be because I wanted to do the walk up to the top of the Nut, which is this big block of rock behind me. I've heard a lot about that. I haven't had the opportunity to walk up it yet, so I thought, well, I'll get out there early, do the walk. I need to wait until it gets dark to collect those bees. I need to wait until they've all come back from foraging and they're all in the hive. So, perfect opportunity. Head out a little bit earlier. This beach down here, this is Godfrey's Beach. It's a beautiful looking beach. So now we're just going to set off, and there is a track running just up the side to the side of those pine trees up there. Here's another view from the road as I came in. You can see that zigzag track up to the top. So let's go. The old Stanley cemetery. I bet you there'd be some gravestones in there that would have some stories to tell. It'd be interesting one day to actually just have a wander through there and read some of the stories. It was established in 1828. So there's a lot of history going back in there. So you don't have to walk up from down at Godfrey's Beach. I just wanted to walk from sea level to the top. So you can drive up here to this car park. You can see this side's looking out over the little township of Stanley out there, and that beautiful bay. Feeling really fit and you still want to see what the view's like from the top, there is a chairlift that you can catch. It's not running at the moment though, because it's after 6 PM here. Well, I'm about 20 meters in and my legs are caning. Feel the fire, feel the burn. Oh yeah, this is a very steep track, and yeah, feeling that in my legs. But the view, wow, the view's amazing. Let's keep going. This is why it's the zigzag track. At least they put chairs in for you to have a rest. Oh, and up this way. If you look down there, past the cemetery, past those pine trees, that little car park at this front edge of the beach, that red car down there, that's ours, that's our red car. That's where I've walked from. Come up that road and around and up here. Now, this bay is really shallow. And to give you an idea of how shallow, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a house there. Above the house, out just there somewhere, there's a person and he's just walking around. It's waist deep water all the way out there. Incredible. We are at least at the top of the chairlift, almost at the top of the hill. Certainly makes you puff when you power up it, but it's only 430 meters, so go hard, get there quick, have a rest. So once you're up here, either walking or via the chairlift, it's just a couple of steps over here to the start of the tracks. So we've got the Nut Circuit, 2 kilometres, Rocky Cape Lookout, 500 metres. Now where that Nut Circuit comes back in is just over here. I can see that says Highfield Lookout, 250 metres. So there's obviously a series of lookouts around this circuit, but 2 kilometre circuit. We'll quickly walk around this, do a bit of scenery shots, and then it should be starting to get towards dark and I can go down and check those bees. Hopefully they're all in the hive and I can pick them up and take them home. Now at certain times of the year, and I'm still yet to find out exactly when, the mutton birds all fly in and nest up here on this plateau. They build their burrows in under all this grass and stuff. Apparently if you're up here at sunset during those periods, it's quite the spectacle to see thousands of these mutton birds on dark all flying in all around you, landing, noisy too, probably a bit smelly too, but anyway, I do want to get up here for that the next time it happens, so I'll be doing a bit of research. If anyone, any of the locals know exactly when's the best time to come up here on the Nut and of an evening and see all those birds come in, drop it in the comments below, let me know, because I'd love to come up here and film that for you guys and show you that. But once you're up here on top, it is fairly flat, so even someone that was maybe mobility impaired or wasn't exceptionally fit or anything, you could catch that chairlift up, walk around this top circuit quite easily, and then catch the chairlift back down. But you don't have to be super fit to get up that hill either. It is only 430 meters. You saw how steep it is though, but you can break it up and walk 50 meters, have a rest, walk 50 meters, have a rest. It's entirely up to you guys, but there are options. So once you're up here though, leisurely stroll, very nice. And it looks like they've got a problem up here with a weed called gorse. So it looks like they've been clearing it here, but all this over here, all that green, that's a bush called gorse, G-O-R-S-E I think it is, spelt. Very spiky, it's an introduced weed. has yellow flowers on it, and it is so spiky. It's impenetrable. It just takes over paddocks and pastures, and nothing else can get in there. So it really is bad. It's a bad invasive plant. But yeah, it looks like they're trying to manage it. It would be a very big job though. Now I just noticed as I'm walking along the track here, and looks like these would be the remnants of the old burrows from the mutton birds, I would guess, in there. There's more over the back. They've trampled down the grasses. Looks like there's a hole there, and over here. So yeah, this is what the mutton birds do. They make these holes in the ground, a bit like penguins do, only these guys get to fly up here. Penguins stay down on the lower ground. Yeah, there's another hole down there. The mutton birds aren't home at the moment, so and we're just coming down to the first lookout. And yeah, she's a bit windy. Apologies for that wind noise. And to my mate Matt, who actually got me a wind diffusing case that goes around it. I forgot to pack it today, Matt. Sorry about that. No, I'm not going to be one of those idiots that jumps the railing to go and get the best candid shot and risk my life. You can see plenty fine from here. Be a great spot to come and watch the whales actually as they migrate across the coast here. That jetty out in the background, that's Port Latter. And the headland you can see right out on the end, out there, that's Table Cape out near Wynyard. Burnie's probably half an hour further past that headland. This bare area here must have been all mutton bird burrows as well, like highly densely populated. They've just trampled the grass completely, but you can still see the different holes and burrows. They're all collapsing in now because I said it's past the season for them to be breeding and that, but yeah. So this angle is looking back inland from the nut. I've seen people take photos from up here of the Aurora australis, and I can see now why they get such a good view back across, because it normally that comes from the south. So they could get up here and they've got a really unobstructed clear view of the night sky. So I might have to consider that the next time the auroras are strong and it's a clear night. Tonight it'd be no good because of all the cloud, but it's nice to see these places in all different sorts of weather. See them when it's nice, see them when it's moody like this. It's just another excuse to come back. And just approaching the other lookout, which means I'm 250 metres from being back at the start. They put a few of these little signs up here and give you information. I see where we are. Right above the wharf area. They're the cray boats down there. Reminds me of some of the cliffs we saw in Ireland and Scotland on our holiday a few years ago. I was just about to walk away and I noticed these lizards. How many lizards can you see, kids? Should be able to see 4. There's 3 on the lower rock. There's one just coming out of the bushes on the left there. There's little skinks. This has been a really good little walk around the nut. Although a suggestion for people that don't like stairs would be that you take the top route because it's all flat and you head out to that first lookout. So don't and then when you get to the first lookout, I wouldn't be coming down to the second lookout because there's stairs going down to it. It's just behind me, and then there's more stairs going down here, and I'm going to have stairs going back up to get up the top. So stay up on the ocean side, up on the high side if you don't like stairs. There's a paddy melon on the track right up the end. We'll see how close we get before he runs off. I don't know how tame they are here. Pretty tame. He didn't seem too phased at all. Let's keep walking. Quite different down here on the back side of the island. Oh, well, it's not an island, it's a headland, sorry. But where it's more sheltered over here, see up on top, facing the ocean, gets hammered by the winds. But over the back here, because the front edge is up there, this is all lower. And it's just so much more sheltered. You get these forests growing in here. It's quite pretty down in here. And this is the third lookout, Tallows Beach lookout. Lookout number 4 and the last lookout. This is Highfield lookout. So now I'm only 250 meters away from the chairlift, which we can see just over there. Well, tick. There's another one off my Tasmania bucket list. Go and walk up to the top and walk around the nut. I'll come back another time and catch a chairlift, but I like to be able to say that I did the walk to the top of the nut and back down again. Well worth coming out that bit earlier. So now I head back down, grab a quick drink, and head out to where this beehive is and just see what's going on there. Fingers crossed there's bees going in and out, because if I didn't get the queen, they'll all be gone. So let's go and have a look. I'll see you down there. I like the way they've done this wall. It's called a gabion wall. Normally they're just full of those stones, but I noticed the bones on the way up, whale's bones, but look, there's a sigh in there, like a Grim Reaper sigh, and shells, metal artifacts. There's a metal axe head. This is like one of the telephone wire insulators. And then there's a horseshoe. There's all sorts. The more you look, you start noticing more and more things in here. There's a hammer and a chisel, an old knife by the look of it. This would have been some blacksmith's pliers. Yeah, really clever, really cool. There's even a little skull in there, probably a little wallaby skull. Spanner, another insulator, an old rabbit trap, railway spikes, some shells. Yeah, very cool. So I think, yeah, very cool. Look at that for a whalebone. Massive piece of whalebone there. Well, here we are back down at the little shack. Now there's a lot of bees flying around. I can't imagine that they would still be hanging out around those floorboards. There's a lot of flies down here too. Can't imagine they'd be hanging around those floorboards because they're all lifted up. So hopefully they're all going in and out of the hive. So let's go and have a look. It's not what I was expecting to see. There are some going in and out of the hive. There are still a lot over there on the wall. And there's a lot here, which I was hoping they would take the stuff out of the old comb. They'll take it back. But yeah, I was not expecting to see that many still on the boards over there. So that's a bit of a concern. I'm going to have to try and scoop more of those and get them in, because maybe the queen is still sitting there with them. Best I get geared up and try and sort this out. After getting the bees out the other day, my gloves were so sticky with honey I had to wash them. So I threw them and the trousers, because the trousers got pretty sticky as well from kneeling down on the ground and that. All honey all over them, so I washed them. Now the trousers weren't dry, so I didn't bring them. Didn't think I'd have to be doing this. So I've got my jacket, I've got my gloves, but there's a good chance I may cop a few stings on the legs today. Hopefully not, we'll see how we go. So again, I'm using the scoop that I made and the dustpan. What I think's happened is I missed the queen, didn't kill her, but she stayed up underneath that last floorboard against the wall that I couldn't remove. And that's why so many bees are still hanging around up there with her. So if I can get her and as many of those bees into that hive, any bees that are left will join her over there. So let's have one more crack at this. Well, that certainly got them riled up. What I'm trying to do at the moment is just chase them all up in underneath. I'll put a bit of smoke around out here. I want them to all congregate up in underneath that last board where it's easy to get them. Obviously each time I get a group, they go berserk. A bit of smoke will get them to calm back down and go into a group. And then I'll try and get another group out and another group out. And hopefully pick up the queen at the same time. So I reckon she was still up in there. Alright, so I'm just going to keep doing this until I get the last of those bees, but I am going to leave the hive here for a couple more days. I'm actually going to move it up and into that area, because if I've missed the queen again, hopefully she can get from under there to the entrance here when I put the beehive in. So that means another trip back, but it's not that far really, you know. I don't mind coming up here, it's a beautiful part of the world, so I'm just going to keep getting the last few and then I'll head home. We'll come back in a couple of days and check again. Well, unfortunate about those bees that I couldn't get them, but I will go back next week and pick them up. During the week we also had some little chicks hatch. Kay managed to film this little one getting out of its shell. But anyway, that's all that we've got time for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, a little longer than usual. Be sure to tune in next week, see what we're up to there. I'm going to be heading off up into the highlands again to do a bit of fishing, and we'll hopefully go and get those bees as well. Anyway, until then, till next Friday, you stay safe, take care, and I'll see you then. Cheers.